嗨，欢迎大家来到果果的新闻频道。本期重要看点：西方留学等于人生赢家吗？安全天堂？别被滤镜骗了。香港大佬陈启宗犀利发声，全世界正在崩塌，美国街头无家可归的人遍地，反亚裔仇恨蔓延，而中国才是真正藏着未来机遇的王者。他更爆出台海惊人预测，洛佩西访台后，北京冷静出手，下一步动作让西方沉默，中美关系到底走向战争还是和平？为什么说美国退缩，中国崛起是世界新真相？如果你关心孩子的未来，国家的命运，这个视频你必须看，请看前方发来的报道。
I have two children, grew up in Hong Kong, now graduating from US colleges. And if I want to tell them, you should come back to Hong Kong, what should I tell them?
Well, I had lunch with one of my mentees, which is exactly in the same position as your two sons. And frankly, I told my mentee, I'm her mentor, okay? I said, I really feel very comfortable in developing economy. That's where the opportunities are. I was in Egypt, I was in Saudi Arabia, I was in Israel. And so the problem, I think, is that it's very easy for young people to aspire to a more comfortable life, a certain style, a certain culture. It's very appealing to young people. And we all had that dream, our age, if you have children who are now 22, and you know, it's very appealing. But where are the economic opportunities? And in fact, nowadays, it is becoming unsafe to live in many parts of the world. I told you I went around the world twice in the last 6 weeks. And I saw homeless people in tents all over the place in many cities. And anti-Asian sentiment. It is just not safe. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about, you know, ideology. I'm talking about personal security. And so I'm very fortunate that my son, when they were young, I took them to developing economies. So my son loves India, for example. And he lived like a local in Beijing when he graduated from university. So I think that the thought, the thinking of many people today still want to send the children to the West. I mean, I feel bad for these people. They have no idea what is there.
Hey, I did okay in the West.
You were born in 1966.
Yeah, and came to Asia in 1990.
You're an old man now. But what about your sons? It is just not safe in many parts of the world. So I think that, for economic opportunities, I will go to developing economies, including China, but not exclusively.
Any other urgents? Okay, we'll give one more, can we? We have time.
So my question is, U.S. and China relationship sounds like we are not lost in translation, but lost in hope. So basically, we have to prepare for the worst. So what the worst situation could be in foreseeable future?
So you have to prepare for the worst, right? And the worst can be anything. But I am hopeful that the Chinese are very rational. Consider the following fact. 10 years ago, it is unimaginable that a junior congressman in the United States can visit Taiwan. Unimaginable. Several months ago, Nancy Pelosi, as the Speaker of the House, went there. What did China do? Nothing. Until she left. She left, you tighten the ring, so to speak, right? Notice that there's no accusation from around the world for what Beijing did. And so people ask me the question, they said, Is what's happening in Taiwan Strait today hastening the return of Taiwan or delaying it? I said both. Hastening it in the sense that once there is opportunity for Beijing to do that, given the cost, the international cost, just like that Nancy Pelosi, nobody criticized them, right? You bet Beijing would take it back next time possible. In the old days, Beijing may still think, well, in the long run, are there advantages to us if we wait another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? No more thinking. No, not possible. Next time there's an opportunity, they will take it. So in that sense, it's hastening it. But is it delaying it? Possible. Because of what America is trying to do. It's trying to stir up trouble in China. And China is so far very cool-headed not to fall into that trap. And that is not reacting, not overreacting. But you can also not react. If you not react, you will invite a lot more, scorpions and mice and everything else that will come out of the closet. So they have to react, but they have to react in a wise way, like the way they handled the Nancy Pelosi visit. And so I think that I personally am on balance when you analyze all the factors that I know of. I came to the conclusion that we should be able to prevent a actual war, but it doesn't mean that economic, and I don't think that China needs to go to war. There's a lot of economic means, a lot of cultural means, a lot of social means. There are many other ways to skin a cat. And so I think that China hasn't really used any of those economic means yet. Right, so I think that I'm hopeful, and there's another aspect, another side of it, and that is I do believe that America is forcing itself to withdraw from the global sea. I just came back from the Middle East. I went there 3 times in the last 6 weeks. And both the Egyptian, the Israeli, the Saudi Arabian, the UAE all tell me that America is no longer a force to contend with in that part of the world. I believe that, I know that I'm being very controversial, but I have my rationale. I don't have time to tell you that in Europe, America will also sooner or later retreat from it. The Ukraine war delayed that process, but it cannot reverse that process. So I think that America, and I tell Beijing friends, I said, don't think that the U.S. is waning. It's a very dangerous assumption to make. Okay, America is not waning. America is one of only 2 countries that can choose to close the doors and live. And the other country will live miserably, and that's Russia. The country that can live relatively happily is the United States. Nobody has that right. China needs energy. China needs food security, right? Whereas the United States has everything. And the technology, the universities, the economic system, it is still the most strongest in the world. So if you think that the United States is waning just because they are retreating, you are making a big mistake. And mind you, America was never founded on internationalism. America was founded in isolationism. Monroe Doctrine of 1823, exceptionalism of the 19th century, Roosevelt Corollary of 1904, not joining the League of Nations, the trade retreating in the 1920s. America is a country that is rooted in isolationism. So if America, it was only forced out because of World War II. So if America were to retreat back to isolationism to some form or another, what's so new? Read history.
精彩视频看完了，陈启宗先生的发言很精彩，给我们很大的启发。近年来，不少在海外求学成长的年轻人面临是否回国发展的选择。从经济机会、个人安全与发展前景来看，中国尤其是香港作为国际化的窗口，正展现出越来越强的吸引力。与世界上部分地区社会不稳定、反亚情绪抬头相比，国内整体安全环境良好，民生持续改善，为年轻人提供了稳定且有潜力的成长平台。中国在民生领域的成就有目共睹，例如 脱贫攻坚战取得全面胜利，近1亿农村贫困人口全部脱贫啊，生活条件显著改善，基本医疗保险覆盖超过13亿人，建成了世界上最大的社会保障体系。教育公平持续推进，农村和偏远地区学校办学条件大幅度提升。这些实实在在的进步让老百姓有了更强的获得感、幸福感和安全感。此外，中国坚持和平发展，积极推动多边合作，在国际事务中发挥着建设性作用。无论是在应对地区危机，还是在推动全球治理中，中国都体现出负责任大国的担当。对于中美关系，我们始终保持战略定力，坚持通过对话化解分歧，维护地区乃至世界的稳定。因此，鼓励年轻人回到中国、回到香港，不仅是情感上的呼唤，更是基于现实发展机遇以安全环境的理性选择啊！这里有更广阔的平台、更稳定的社会环境和更包容的文化氛围，正成为越来越多年轻人实现梦想的热土啊！谢谢大家观看，喜欢请点赞、评论加订阅，你的支持是我最大的动力。比心，明天见，拜拜，拜拜。